Dear Misty, I know a lot of trans people are very offended by pronouns. I sometimes have a hard time telling a female to male trans person from a butch lesbian. When meeting new people or working in cust service, I try to avoid sir or ma'am. It can be hard if you need their attention and don't know their name. What are your thoughts? Alright, well my thoughts are, when in doubt, assume they're a trans person. I'm the same way. I really do have a hard time a butch lesbian or a trans man. But when in doubt, always assume they're a trans man. I think because in the gay community, we call everyone girl, whether you're a drag queen or not. We're like, girl, don't be silly, girl. And it could just be some regular gay man. I'm not saying that lesbians do this because I'm not a lesbian and I don't know, but I would venture to say calling a lesbian a male pronoun will not be as offensive as calling a trans man a female pronoun. So whenever I'm in doubt, and I'm on the microphone a lot, and I've seen lesbians, couples, a really butch one and a really feminine one, and I always call the butchy one, the really butchy one, a trans man. I'm like, hey sir, how are you, hot man? Like, what's up? Are you single? You know, trying to flirt and be silly. And more oftentimes than not, the girlfriend's like, oh my god, you properly gender my boyfriend. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's kind of obvious to me that he's trying to be masculine. And even a butch lesbian is trying to be masculine. So wouldn't they want that, even if they weren't trans men? For example, I work at Lips, and most of the customers at Lips are straight customers. And many times, I would say almost on the daily, they call me sir, or, excuse me, can you get him, I would like another, and I'm like, you mean her? Would she can get you another, what? And I joke around with it, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, if I'm going out on my way to look like a lady, can you go out of your way to call me a lady? So if a lesbian or a trans man is going out of their way to look masculine, call him dude, sir, etc. Yeah. And even if they're not a trans man yet, they might be considering or flirting with the idea. And you properly genderifying them, making them feel more comfortable in their skin, I think is a good thing. Like, oh gosh, I passed for a man today. Yeah. Definitely. Like, even me, I'm very, very androgynous out of drag. And I was in London and not in drag. No makeup. No, I didn't even have fingernails while I was in London. And I was not wearing breasts. But I was at a British tea in a very, very nice hotel. And the server kept calling me ma'am. And I did not correct him. I was like, yeah, he can call me ma'am. I don't care. And then, one of my friends was like, oh, can you get, or, and then my friend Robert was like, oh, I want the tea that he's having. And I'm like, you bitch! I was passing as a woman without even trying, and you say he to the waiter. But I was just kidding, I didn't care. It was funny to me. I know that I'm androgynous. I know that I've got so much silicone on my face that I look like a woman out of drag. That doesn't bother me. But it also does not bother me if you call me he or she out of drag. If I'm wearing breasts and lipstick and I'm trying to look like a woman, you better fucking believe that you better call me ma'am. But if I'm not, I don't care. Yeah. So long story short, when in doubt, go for the trans person pronoun. Loving you, ZZ.